Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to another edition of your weekly scheduled morning workout talk brought to you by Literary Pharaoh. Yeah, guys, I'm on the way to the gym. Wouldn't life be perfect if we didn't have to work out? If you could just pop a pill and it fixes all your problems? But then again, I said have to work out. Some people hear that and be like, have to? You don't have to do anything. But the kind of mentality I have, you have to. You have to have movement in your life. You don't necessarily have to go to a gym, but you got to do something. You got to be active. All right? We weren't made to be, we weren't made to have a sedentary lifestyle where we just sit our asses down all the time. That's why we were given legs and given arms. You're supposed to do something with those things. Even a car has wheels. The wheels are used. The wheels are used to move the car. You have feet, move around, walk, jog, run, sprints. You have arms, lift something. You have a brain, use it to think. Use the brain to think that I have these parts to do something with. Stop making your life all about work. We understand work is important because that's the way this evil world has, constructed its system. It's constructed its system behind the concept of slavery. And the delusion that's come upon most of us is that we believe that slavery is done away with because we don't see people in chains getting beat and working for free. That's such a jaded concept. There's so many different layers of slavery. All right? Just like there are many different layers of prostitution. Prostitution doesn't mean the lady who's walking across the street with a short dress, looking for a customer. That's the depiction that's provided to us by media and by the way the matrix system is designed. It provides us images, and we receive it, and then we think that that's what it is. No, there are different levels to prostitution. A prostitute, you have civilized prostitution, you have escorts, you have girls who just go out to party who sleep with men for money. That's a form of prostitution. See, prostitution can be administered in different ways, and the means to prostitute is layered just as much as slavery is layered. There are different forms of it. If you have to do something, you are a slave. You are a slave to it because I don't have to go work out. I make a choice to do so. You understand what I mean? Like, if I don't work out, I'm not going to die. I'm not going to lose my home. I'm not going to be out on the street. I'm not going to be homeless. I'm not going to be clothless. I'm not going to go hungry if I don't work out. See, the necessities of life are not taken away from me if I don't go to the gym. That's the difference. I make the choice to go to the gym because it's what I choose to do. Most of us, 95% of us in this world, don't choose to go to work. We go to work because we have to. We have to. That's slavery. Now, back then, the slavery that we always think of is, the first thing we think of when we think of slavery is colored people or black people being enslaved. Slavery has always been a part of reality. You always have a dominant force or a dominant race. When I say dominant race, I don't mean dominant because they're genetically dominant, just dominant because they found a way to manipulate the ones beneath them, making the ones beneath them inferior by the aesthetic of it, by the looks of it. Because black people by no means are inferior. Genetically or scientifically, any way you want to slice it up, we are far from the inferior race. I will make the argument and say that we are the superior race based upon our biochemical construct and our genetics and our genomes, our DNA. I can go on and on. If you just spread open a pale skinned person and you spread open a melanated person and they did a project to examine their organs and examine their chemical makeup and how those organs and the chemical makeup, how it correlates with the atmosphere that we are under, being underneath the sun, you would see that the melanated person definitely has the more superior gene. But that's neither here nor there. The point I'm making is that we're all slaves. We have to do what we have to do, because if we don't, it'll be taken away from us. No different than a slave back then who didn't do their labor, they will be killed or punished. Our punishment doesn't necessarily come with whips and chains. Our punishment comes with taking away your right to live. If they take away your income, that's your right to live. That's the way they punish you. All right? And then every other system that's outside the industrial system accentuates the industrial system, like the taxes, taking money out of your paycheck, businesses having these built-in scams to take more money from people. And people on the surface think, it's all about greed. It's all about greed. I say, no, greed is just one element. It's not really greed. It's deeper than greed. There's a more sinister component that's much more profound than greed, in my opinion. And I would say that is control. See, greed is a precursor to control. If I'm greedy, I take all the things for myself. I make all the resources scarce. Therefore, I control you, because you are needing me to survive. Then I, who have somehow figured out a way to get all the power to myself, now I can dispense the material and the resources to whom I feel I can give it to, based upon how I can control them. So I'll say, I'm going to give you a piece of bread over here if you can take 5 blocks and bricks and put those bricks in that container, and I'll give you a piece of bread. And then the hungry, starving person is like, okay. I'm going to take all these bricks, I'm going to put them in this container, and I'm going to do all these things that you want me to do because I want to eat my bread, because I'm hungry, I'm going to die. You see how that works? You control the resources, because this earth is a seed planet. What do I mean by seed planet? Just like if you walk upon a garden that has rich soil, the soil is so rich that you could plant anything you want to in that soil, and it will produce. It will yield fruit. That's what this planet is. Don't believe the idea that we are running out of resources. We have abundant amount of resources. The problem is there's a handful of people that control, or a handful of families, I should say, that control all the resources. Hence, they control the resources, they control the people, they control the people, they dominate. That's the only way they can keep their control. There's more than enough. When we're living in a world that's based upon a free market economy, all right, capitalistic nonsense, the hardest worker gets it, that's nonsense. It's the hardest, what it does is push the narrative of being a hardworking slave. How many times have I sat down and talked to people, or even had the privilege to hone in on conversations when people are talking about how it was in their country, how before they came to America, how they thought that coming to America was something that was going to be just great, a great opportunity to have the ability to make money and live a better life. That's the trick. That's the trap. You see, everything's not all about chasing money. We forget about the importance and the significance of human relationships and human entanglements. We forget about the purity and the nobility of networking. We take for granted our time of leisure. We've allowed the subtle forms of brainwashing and hypnotism to take over, because America is painted as some utopic country. No. The only thing great about America is that it works you to death. And I say great because it's only great to those who control us. Having less is more. And this is a classic example of having more is less. You say, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by having less is more and having more is less? Well, the more you try to get, the less virtuous you are. The more you try to get, the less of a life you have. The more you have, the less alive you are. The more you pursue more money and more things, more materials, the more dead you are on the inside. Nothing material can fill what you need in the inside, because what's in the inside is immaterial. What's in the inside of you is spiritual. It's comprised of energy. It's comprised of vibrations. It's comprised of frequency. It's comprised of emotion, which is energy in motion. If your energy in motion is captivated with the idea to always seek out materials and money, then you're slowly dying anyway. Hence, America being what I always deem it as, I label it as the death cult. Not only is it a death cult by the practices that are promoted, by the medicines that are promoted, by the foods that are promoted, everything's about getting you stressed, getting you sick, and then putting chemicals in your food to make you addicted to it. Stress is a silent killer. Your brain is not functioning at its optimal level when you are stressed, and therefore will give you foods that appease those emotions. They make you feel good, which is why most of us are emotional eaters. All right, we eat off of emotion, not because we're hungry. And then the foods you eat, they're empty caloric foods, lacking nutritional density. Then you don't really get the nutritional value from the foods. What you get is all the negative effects from the foods. Then you end up getting diseases, and then the cycle continues. The stress, the food, the disease. The stress, the food, the disease. And then when you go to the hospital, they don't give you a remedy to eliminate the causation of the diseases. They just give you band-aids to mask the symptoms, therefore keeping you in a state of illness for the rest of your damn life while you pursue money as a wage slave. So that's the way it works, folks. We have to work. We have to work. So the reason why I started off this video by saying I have to work out is because that's the way my mind operates. I'm like, okay, if I have to go to work, then I have to train my brain to say I have to work out. I have to be a slave to the gym. You say, why? Why would you want to be a slave to the gym? Didn't you just say being a slave is not a good thing because you have to? Well, the world is trying to kill me. The world is trying to kill you. You say, how? By what I just said. They work you to death. Life becomes miserable. You don't spend time with your kids. You don't spend time with your family. There was a statistic that I read. It said that the average America's time at work, 3/4 of Americans spend their time at work. No. Americans spend 3/4 of their time at work. That's what I wanted to say. So 75% of our day, on average, is spent at work. So where does the other 25% go? It doesn't go to home. We're not even factoring in the drive home. We're not even factoring in if you have to go to the grocery store. Maybe you have to pick up your children from school. The errands you have to run before you get home. So maybe people are probably only spending 20% of their time with their family and kids. And people wonder why divorce rates are high. Divorce rates aren't high because the world is getting more immoral. Divorce rates are high because no one's spending time with each other. People are spending more time with their coworkers than they are with their own husbands and wives. People are spending more of their time outside the home. How can you build a home when you're never freaking there? And this idea that, I make all the money, my wife stays at home, that's great. You're still not being with your wife. Your wife has all the free time in the world. She's bored. So if she has an affair or you have an affair, it's understandable. I'm not justifying an affair, but that's what happens. That's the same thing that happens with children when people who are rich and they can hire nannies and and the kids grow up not having a relationship with their mothers or fathers, and then parents are wondering why the kids are being disrespectful to the parents, but they're more closely connected to the nannies. It was because the nanny is who they view as mom. The nanny is always there, nurturing and caring for them. Mommy and daddy are pursuing money. That's what I mean by having more is less. The more you pursue, the less you have as a human. You lose your humanity when you're chasing money, because we were never created to chase money. We were created as humane, light beings. Hue, light, mane, humane. We were supposed to be civil to one another. We were supposed to, if anything, we were supposed to be sacrificial to one another. Not sacrificing our humanity to go feed the military industrial complex and make money for the industries, and so we can make money, so we can have the bare necessities and the crumbs that they can actually write the checks for us. Because think about it, if your business owner can write you a check, imagine how much money they have. They have a lot. They hoard it, so they can actually ration out the resources to people and keep us groveling at the ground like slaves and beggars, and that's what we are. I don't care if you have a nice house, you have a nice car, and you have money. You're still a slave. You're a good looking slave. And you're the kind of slave they love the most, because you love your job. You're gonna love it because look at what it's getting you. How you're not gonna just one day call and say, hey, I'm not coming to work anymore, because you're gonna lose all the things that you have. That's the system. That's how they get you with materialism. That's how they get you, and that's how they keep you there. They do it with celebrities. They flash all these things to us through media. They make us believe that having this and having that is what life is all about. That's part of the plan. That's part of the deception. That's part of the allure, to suck you in. And as they suck you in, you become a victim to the system. You have to know that. I'm not saying, now you're going to ask me what's the solution. I don't know the solution to that. But the easy solution is for everybody. I wish we all had the capacity to communicate telepathically. And we all as a human race just decide to say, man, F it, man. No one go to work today. Everyone just don't do anything. All the McDonald's restaurants, all the no workers, nobody do anything. Shut it down. Then they did it with the COVID protocols. They were able to do it through an alleged pandemic. They were able to do that. But we're told to do that like slaves. We can't do that on our own. The television has to give us the lie to dictate our behavior. Right? We're nothing but lab rats, man. We're lab rats in a big ass experiment. And that's why they can spray us with chemicals coming out from aircraft. That's why they can give us toxic medicines. I mean, watch television and look at those medicine commercials. They have people all smiling with nice music, talking about take this drug and it'll heal this and heal that. And then 2 minutes later, they're reading off all the side effects that can happen. And I'm like, why would I want to take that? Why would I take something that's going to possibly give me side effects? It's not even a possibly. It will. And as I told you guys before, the side effect of a drug is the effect of the drug. There's no such thing as a side effect. When you take something and it affects you, that's the effect. That's the intention of the drug. The drug was never intended to heal you. It was to hang the nugget over your head to say, hey, I'm going to heal your, let's say you have a skin disease or something. I don't know. Let me say you have eczema or something like that, right? So what they'll do, they'll say, oh, this drug right here that I have in my hand, it'll heal your eczema. And because you're desperate and you want that eczema healed, because you wholeheartedly put your life in the hands of these false prophets and killers. So you're like, oh my God, let me go get this medicine. And then it starts to read, well, consult your doctor. If you have this, that in the last few months, make sure you tell your doctor. And you may get possible this, that. They start reading off all these side effects. And I'm like, hold on here. Something's not right. If this is truly medicinal, why would it even give you the side effects? It's not medicinal. It's not made to heal you. It's made to get you sick. And that's one thing you guys don't understand. You guys think that the pharmaceutical industry is here to heal people. It was never made to heal people. If you do your history, if you do your research, you look at the history of how the pharmaceutical company came into play, it was never an industry that was made to cure people. It was made to keep people sick. Why would a pharmaceutical industry want people well? That takes away their profits. We need you sick. It's common sense, folks. I'm not that smart of a dude. Trust me, I'm not. It's just, think about it. How can I keep making money? The only way I can make money is if my consumers stay ill. So what I have to do is create medicines that lies to them, that says that it's going to heal them, but in actuality, it really doesn't heal them. It may cover up the symptom of a certain disease, but while they're taking this medicine, it's going to cause other problems in their internal systems. Same thing with the food industry. Food and Drug Administration approving all these toxic foods. They know people need food. People need to eat. People need to sustain themselves. People need energy. So what we're going to do, we're going to create foods that have great taste, cause people to be addicted to these synthetic chemicals in these foods and these processed killing foods that we make. We're going to advertise it all the time. We're going to show it on television. We're going to make it look really good. We're going to play music behind our food and entice these idiots and hypnotize them, dun, 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 and hypnotize them to like the medicine. To like the food. And as they eat the foods, they'll get sick, and eventually they'll run back to get the medicine to heal themselves from the foods that we've been promoting. It's a sick cycle. And we fall into the damn trap. Then we don't take care of ourselves. Then we run into the hospital for the white man with the blue eyes and the white coat to heal us. You see how ignorant we've become? So when I make the statement earlier in this video that I have to work out, that's why. Because I'm living in a world that's out to kill me. So I have to kill myself in the gym to make sure I combat the avalanche of the death that's coming upon me. We live in a death cult, folks. It's subtle. Death has never looked so good. And that's what makes America so sinister. They kill you with a smile. Hey, buddy. They're just sticking you with the dagger. How are you doing? I'm okay. And they're just stabbing the shit out of you. Excuse my language. They're just chip, chip. Slow death. Death by 1,000 cuts. Death by 1,000 cuts, folks. People in my native country, they don't get things like Alzheimer's and dementia and Parkinson's. They don't get any of that stuff. They lived off the land. They ate, most of the foods that they ate were grown. They weren't stressed. They weren't being sprayed with chemicals. They were old, but they aged gracefully. We've come to believe that in this country, that when you age, you have to lose your senses and you become, I don't know, senile to a certain degree. And that shouldn't be that way. That's not necessarily the way it should be. We're put in that position because we lived our lives not fighting. So if I have to go to work, then I have to go to the gym. I can't be a slave to the system and not be a slave to myself. You say, what do you mean a slave to myself? A slave to take care of myself. I have to take care of myself, so I have to go to the gym. I have to wake up at 3:45 in the morning to get myself ready. I have to drive to the gym. I have to take a shower at the gym. And I have to go to work. So it puts me in a have, and a must. I can't. Taking care of myself can't be optional when the world around me is trying to kill me. Being selective with my foods and cooking my own meals and sticking to a plant-based diet and staying away from processed foods is a must. Because the world out there, the foods that are supplied out there are made to kill us and to make us sick and to increase the acidic level in our systems. So if they're doing that to me, convenience is a killer. It's very convenient to drive by McDonald's drive-thru, get your food and go. Fast food. Why is it fast? Because we're stressed the hell out. Everyone's busy. It's a rat race. Everyone's going to work. There's traffic in the road every day. Everyone's boom, 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 going to work, going here, schedule meetings, da-da-da-da-da. No one has time. No one has time. So they put these hubs of convenience around you. But these hubs of convenience are nothing but landmines to kill you. So yes, I have to be disciplined and circumvent that nonsense. and come home and cook my own meals and have specific times where I eat that's lined up with the sun. Eat after 12. Don't eat after 7. Make my life convenient, but convenient in a way that's beneficial for me. Not convenient for me to feed the industrial system. Not convenient because, oh, I'm rushing to go to work. Let me just go to McDonald's or Jack in the Box because I don't want to be late. I don't even eat breakfast. There's no need to eat breakfast. You break your fast after 12 o'clock. We have to eat with the rhythm of the sun. When the sun rises, you eat. When the sun sets, you stop. The sun tells you when to eat, not man. Slaves grovel at anything that's given to them. Because we lack knowledge, then we perish. We lack knowledge and perish. No, I have to. It's not an addiction. No one is addicted to work. We have to work. So if you have to work, then you have to get your ass in the gym. Because work is killing you. You say, how? Because you're not taking care of yourself. You're taking care of someone else's self. You're taking care of someone else's business. You're putting money in someone else's pocket. Yeah, they'll give you a little crumbs at the end of every 2 weeks or however often you get paid. You get the little bit of the crumbs. They give you just enough for you to fuel your body, to fuel your car, to bring your ass back to work. They give you just enough to house yourself, to feed yourself, to clothe yourself, and to buy yourself a vehicle to take your ass back to work. You're the best slave because they don't have to provide that for you. You provide that for yourself. You fuel yourself and you come right back to work. So if I have to do all that, then I have to make sure I take care of myself. There's no option here. Take care, guys. I'm about to be out. Thank you.